This is Valley View News.
The CSUN's women's volleyball team is now in the nation's top 25, the best in over 20 years. A new veterans home in Los Angeles is providing vets with a roof over their heads, health services, and jobs. Ousted Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi has reportedly been disruptive in court, and his trial has now been delayed.
Welcome to this edition of Valley View News. I'm Christiana Kelly.
And I'm Mona Adem. The man suspected of opening fire at LAX airport is now facing charges of murdering a federal officer and committing violence at an international airport. Authorities say Paul Ciencia had a friend drop him off at LAX and almost immediately opened fire once he walked in the terminal. Officials say Ciencia shot 3 TSA agents, killing one. Ciencia was shot 4 times by police. He was taken into custody and was under sedation at a hospital. The FBI says Ciencia had 2 goals that day: to kill a TSA agent and to show people how easy it was to take a gun into an airport.
Valley View News reporters talked to students at Cal State University Northridge about the LAX shooting. They had sharply different opinions on the safety of airports.
I've been in airports where there's been bomb threats. I've been in airports where there was a shooting literally right across the street during the time. In all honesty, I just put up with it.
Knowing about that shooting is just devastating, to know that anybody could just walk up into the airport and just, do something horrific like that.
I feel safe because I know there's a lot of security still, and they're probably going to add more, and the security lines are probably going to be way longer now.
So after hearing about it, I guess I feel a little less safe. I mean, I would still probably go there to fly, but I would definitely be much more cautious.
I think LAX would be one of the most secure places to be at. And the fact that a guy got in with a gun, you'd think they'd search things like a lot.
Skydivers have survived a mid-air plane collision by parachuting to safety. The accident over northern Wisconsin sent one small plane crashing to the ground, while the other made it safely back to the runway. Both planes were carrying skydivers. The planes were flying close to each other as skydivers prepared to jump in formation. The pilot of the lead plane told firefighters that before the jump, he heard a loud bang and his windshield shattered. The plane caught fire and broke apart, but the skydivers and the pilot all parachuted to safety. 2 of the passengers in the plane that landed had minor injuries.
A new apartment complex has opened in North Hills to help change the lives of homeless veterans. Christiana Kelly takes a look into new directions. Sepulveda.
Take your time.
David Eveld and John Carlos like to get together and play basketball. They can only play horse because John Carlos has a bad knee.
I mean, we fight a lot, but we're best friends. I mean, you gotta see us at night sometime.
These men are veterans and were homeless until they moved into New Directions, a permanent supportive living facility that opened in August on the North Hills VA campus. The facility has 147 studio apartments in 2 buildings. Because it is located on the VA campus, New Directions can offer homeless vets one-of-a-kind support.
What's unique about Indy Sepulveda is that we're located on the campus here in North Hills. So we're on the VA campus. So the access to medical support and mental health support and substance use support is really accessible for the tenants.
This is always the hardest time of year for Richard F., a Vietnam vet who's been living on the street for 18 years.
Issues are brought on by particular calendar dates, things that happen. The worst month of my life is November.
Having a place to live is changing this for him, and he has a plan to get through this November.
Next week, I'm going to Oxnard to try to build one of these at Port Hueneme Naval Shipyard.
He wants to pass his positive experience on to others in need. Richard and the other veterans decorate their rooms with their own flair. Empty rooms like this soon take on the personality of occupants like Byron Macaena, also a Vietnam vet. Macaena's involvement with drugs led to his life on the streets.
I just ended up dealing with people and, dealing with the drugs, going in and out of jail or whatsoever.
But he's now trying to reconnect with his family. Macaena showed me a baby picture of his son Adam, who visited him before I arrived. New Directions is offering vets access to a new life, as well as several other amenities. This is the beautiful back patio area. Now, there's not much out here today besides some hummingbirds and butterflies, but they plan to partner with Home Depot to put in patio furniture, grills, and even a smoking area. They are also planning a community garden in this space where the vets can grow their own food. John Carlos did not want to talk about what led to his homelessness, but he's grateful for new directions.
New directions is
change your life.
Yeah.
In North Hills, I'm Christiana Kelly, Valley View News.
Thousands of Iranian protesters held a big anti-American rally outside the former U.S. Embassy in Tehran. The protest happens every year to commemorate the takeover of the embassy in 1979 after the Islamic Revolution. Observers say the protest this time was larger than usual and may indicate a struggle between Islamists and recently elected President Hassan Rouhani. He has indicated he is willing to negotiate with U.S. leaders over Iran's nuclear program. Iran's hardliners do not support negotiation with the U.S. Experts say the large crowd was also intended to send a message to Ayatollah Khamenei, who has given some support to Rouhani.
Ousted Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi's trial has been rescheduled for January 8th. Lawyers say they need more time to review the case brought against him. Morsi and 14 other people face charges of inciting the riots in which some protesters were killed. The trial was supposed to start this month, but was canceled because Morsi was reportedly defiant and disruptive in court. The judge will not allow cameras or cell phones during the trial to avoid disorderly conduct.
The mayor of Toronto has been accused of smoking crack. Rob Ford has denied the claims, but police say they have video evidence against him. Ford's attorney does not deny the mayor is in the video, but he suggests that it may not be crack that Ford is smoking. Ford has reportedly been caught smoking marijuana, as well as allegedly attacking fans at sporting events. He has denied involvement in both events. So far, he has not been charged in the crack case.
A candidate for governor in Maine has announced he is gay. 58-year-old Republican Mike Michoud wrote a news editorial about his sexual orientation. The opinion piece was provided by the Associated Press and later published in 2 newspapers in Maine. His announcement comes in response to a campaign by political opponents hoping to weaken his bid for governor. Michoud has not identified who he thinks is behind the campaign. Maine voters approved a gay marriage law a year ago, and Michoud supported the measure. Michoud is running against current Governor Paul LePage and Elliott Cutler for governor. The Gay and Lesbian Victory Fund says the United States has more than 500 gay men and women in office. This includes a U.S. Senator and 7 members of the House.
There may soon be a solution to a controversy over people growing crops and other plants along LA city sidewalks. New guidelines are being written to make sure the so-called curb gardens are safe and well maintained. People planting along LA curbs say they have faced problems with the city. Valley News reporter Colin Newton has more on this story.
Los Angeles has stopped issuing citations to people who plant gardens on their curbsides, but it hasn't passed new laws to regulate the gardens yet. According to a statement from LA Councilman Herb Wesson's office, Mr. Wesson has been working with city departments to work out some guidelines that will make it easier for people to plant. We hope this will be resolved soon. It won't be soon enough for Los Feliz resident Abby Zanz. His curbside gardens in raised beds came under fire earlier this summer.
He said that it was just, that the city code said that we couldn't have anything there.
Zanz received 2 citations and was asked to go to court. Local newspapers ran articles defending Zanz, and he started a Facebook page to rally support.
People were calling me and saying, my friend just sent me this article, and they're, they're pissed off.
The city backed off. Zanz is known around his neighborhood for giving away fruits and vegetables. He even started a website, parkwaytotable.com, to create an online cooking and growing community.
Hopefully with the impetus would be that then other people would see it and then they would say we could do the same thing.
But curbside gardens are not just about community, they're also about good health. Homegrown gardens can supply families with fresh fruits and vegetables, something that they might not be able to obtain easily in their own neighborhoods.
The Maryland Magarum Center is a nonprofit organization on the Cal State Northridge campus that researches food science and nutrition. The center's associate director, Rita Marie Little, says that homegrown food can be healthy and affordable.
I think the larger issue with growing your own fruits and vegetables is the ability to do so on a fairly affordable and accessible level.
Safety concerns are present, but minimal.
Sometimes there's soil issues where you may have a school that was once built, or even a home that was built on what was there 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago. Was it a gas station at a point where you may have leakage from those old tanks that are under the ground? And I think they're readily addressed.
For Zanz, the main issue is seeing the city erase the ban on Parkway Gardens and even encourage their growth.
Yeah, I'd like the city to take a more active role in this, not just allowing people to do it, but actually doing it themselves.
From Los Feliz, I'm Colin Newton for Valley View News.
Coming up in sports, we'll see how the Lakers are doing without Kobe and see who makes a comeback in football.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing. Believe me, I'm good at it.
Once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell him.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? He needs something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
Really? Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Well, Stephanie, football is almost halfway through already, but basketball is just starting, but without Kobe. I mean, what do you think about that?
You know what? The Lakers are doing pretty good without Kobe. I'm not too worried about that, but I'm really excited to see the new team dynamics this year. The Los Angeles Lakers beat the Atlanta Hawks at home 105-103, but the Lakers had to work mighty hard for the victory. They blew a 21-point lead from halftime and had to fight for the win. Paul Gasol hit 2 free throws to break the tie with 6 seconds left in the game. Laker Xavier Henry said they're still trying to find the right combinations to win while playing without Kobe Bryant. The win is the 8th consecutive over the Hawks at home. The Cal State Northridge women's volleyball team has been receiving national recognition for their performance this season. Valley View News reporter Ryan Music has more on their keys to success.
The Cal State Northridge women's volleyball team has had a strong start to their season, with a 9-1 record in the Big West Conference. Senior outside hitter Mahina Haina says it's because of the offense.
I think we've been playing really good volleyball. We've been doing really well offensively, and that's good.
Junior middle blocker Casey Hinger says she's been working on more than just offense.
I just want to, continue to be the best that I can be for the team. I think personally the biggest thing was just continuing to be like a solid blocker up there, which I'm trying to work on, and like kind of becoming a more all-around player and being able to play defense and pass as well and do more.
Defense and digging are a main focus in practice, and Hinger says they've caught some teams by surprise.
So we kind of have strayed away from just normal volleyball, which I think confuses a lot of teams, and it's really helped us with our success against them.
Head coach Jeff Stork breaks down the complex game plan, and senior captain Natalie Allen says the team has had a different mentality this season.
I would say our mindset is different. Coming into it this year, we all knew that we could go to the playoffs if we wanted to, so we've been working for that ever since spring of last year. We've been working towards this fall, so it's been really good.
After defeating number 8 University of Hawaii on October 24th, the Matadors are now ranked among the top 25 teams in the country for the first time since 1992. They're also currently tied for first place in the Big West Conference with only 8 matches remaining, giving them high hopes for a conference title and a playoff bid for the national championship. Reporting from the Matadome at Cal State Northridge, I'm Ryan Music for Valley View News.
Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Nick Foles became the 7th passer in NFL history to throw 7 touchdowns in a single game. He led the Eagles to a 49-20 win over the Oakland Raiders. Foles completed 22 of 28 passes. His first was a 42-yard pass on the opening drive of the game. Foles now has 13 touchdowns and no interceptions on the season. The Eagles hope that Foles' performance means they have now found their starting quarterback. The Houston Texans had a 21-3 lead over the Indianapolis Colts at halftime, but their lead did not last long. Colts quarterback Andrew Luck threw 3 second-half touchdowns to wide receiver T.Y. Hilton. The Colts' first lead of the game came on a touchdown reception by Hilton and a 2-point conversion with 4 minutes left in the game. The Texans had a chance to tie the game, but their kicker Randy Bullock missed a 55-yard field goal as time expired. This is the 6th loss in a row for the Texans. Houston Texans coach Gary Kubiak collapsed at halftime and was taken to a hospital during the game against the Indianapolis Colts. He was immediately surrounded by medical personnel and was lifted off the field on a stretcher. The Texans said he did not have a heart attack and is in stable condition. Denver Broncos head coach John Fox also had a health scare last week. While golfing, he felt dizzy and was taken to a hospital. Tests revealed he would need surgery to replace a valve in his heart. The Detroit Tigers have hired former player Brad Ausmus as the manager of the team. Ausmus played catcher in the major leagues from 1993 to 2010, but he has little experience as a manager.
Very rarely is there a managerial change when a team is coming off a postseason appearance or an ALCS appearance, and I understand I'm very fortunate. That being said, I'm not taking anything for granted. No details will be glossed over, and I'm not assuming anything going into the job.
He agreed to a 3-year deal with the Tigers. Ausmus takes over a talented team that has reached the American League Championship Series for 3 years. They are expected to continue winning in 2014. That's the latest we have for sports today. Now back to you.
Coming up in entertainment, we'll see who made a big splash in the opening weekend at the box office and find out how Oprah is raising money for young women in South Africa.
Being a dad can be tough.
No. What do you mean she's not coming?
When's the fairy princess coming?
Any minute now.
But when you're willing to do anything...
It is I, Cruz Zinkelpel. Yeah. Okay, time for cake.
It's always worth it.
I know it's really you, Drew. I'm just pretending for the other kids.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
A single ember that escapes from a wildfire can travel more than a mile. You can't control where that ember will land, only what happens when it does. Get Fire Adapted now at fireadapted.org.
So, Rosie, did you get a chance to check out any of the new movies this weekend?
Yes, I did. I checked out Ender's Game. It was a well-produced film, but with a lot of futuristic ideas. Ender's Game topped the box office this weekend, earning $28 million. The futuristic film earned an additional $2 million internationally. The high-budget film cost $110 million to make. Movie critics say the film will have to continue to lead in the box office if the studio wants to break even. Bad Grandpa came in second, making a little more than $20 million. Las Vegas also opened this weekend. The film came in third place and earned $16.5 million. Taylor Swift has been chosen to receive the CMA's Pinnacle Award. The award is given to country artists who have achieved worldwide success and recognition. Swift has also been nominated for 6 other CMA awards, including Entertainer of the Year. Swift's latest album, Red, had 3 singles on Billboard's Top 100. Garth Brooks is the only other country artist to receive the Pinnacle Awards. The first ever YouTube Music Awards brought in over 200,000 viewers. The event was held at New York City's Pier 36 while streaming live on the internet. The Music Award executive producer says YouTube's first webcast award proved to be revolutionary.
I mean, more people are going to YouTube to just watch and listen to music than any other platform right now. So when you've got a planetary music channel like this, you really need to do something to celebrate it.
Viewers complained about many streaming glitches and on how the host handled the unscripted show. Eminem won Artist of the Year, and the K-pop group Girls' Generation won Video of the Year for their I Got a Boy single. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are suing YouTube co-founder Chad Hurley for posting the proposal video. Hurley reportedly was not invited to the ceremony and came along with someone who was invited. When he was spotted at the event, Hurley was asked to sign a confidentiality agreement stating he would not publish details of the event. Included in the lawsuit is a photo of Hurley holding the agreement in his hands. Representatives of Hurley did not immediately respond to the allegations in the lawsuit. Justin Bieber may have many fans, but he is no longer Twitter's most popular celebrity. Katy Perry has passed Bieber as the most popular person on Twitter. With over 46 million followers, Perry has taken the lead. Perry has 2,000 more followers than Bieber. Lady Gaga was a previous queen of Twitter, holding the crown since 2010 and setting a number of records. Bieber took the lead in January when he passed Gaga at the 33 million follower mark. Perry passed Gaga at around 39 million followers 6 months later. With 40 million devotees, Gaga still holds the number 3 slot, followed by President Obama at 39 million and Taylor Swift at 36 million. BlackBerry shares have plunged 10% after the company fired its CEO and abandoned any plans to sell the company. It is speculated that potential bidders did not have enough money or were no longer interested. BlackBerry plans to lay off 4,500 employees by September of next year. Oprah Winfrey has auctioned some of her own possessions and brought in more than $600,000. Oprah says proceeds will go to her Girls Leadership Academy in South Africa. The items sold included Oprah's collection of art, antiques, furniture, and memorabilia. Most of the items were collected from the home she owns. Items estimated at $100 ended up selling for over $1,000. Oprah's set of 18th century Louis XVI armchairs brought in the winning bid at $60,000. The Simpsons have paid tribute to actress Marsha Wallace. She was the voice of character Edna Krabappel. Wallace died in her Los Angeles home after suffering from complications of pneumonia. She was 70 years old. Fox aired a classic episode of the show, The Ned Lee's Catch, that featured Wallace in 1992. The actress won an Emmy for her voice work in the Simpsons episode Bart the Lover. Wallace was also known for her role as receptionist Carol Kester on the 1970s comedy The Bob Newhart Show. That is all for entertainment. Now back to you.
Food banks around Los Angeles say they are busier than usual helping families. Valley View News reporter Wendy Spence has the story.
Millions of LA residents are struggling to find food to eat. With an estimated 1 in 6 persons experiencing hunger, LA County has the highest rates in the nation.
We don't have the food supply. They got a line last week because they didn't have enough food.
The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank distributes the equivalent of 830,000 meals each week. The food bank, through its agencies and volunteers, work together to help feed LA's hungry population.
The food that's donated, we separate it and make sure that we take all the stuff that's damaged and outdated and like old, not healthy, and make sure that they get the best food that we can give.
The food bank has also seen a change in the face of poverty in Los Angeles.
People we see in lines at food pantries, soup kitchens, agency sites, they're not who you expect to be. There are people that just need to get through the month, people who are choosing between rent and food or medicine and food.
Margaret Carson serves meals to hundreds of families each month through her distribution agency in South LA.
We have homeless people, we have pregnant mothers.
The flow of donations and distributions that come in and out of the LA Regional Food Bank has been adversely affected by economic conditions. The LA Food Bank is one of the largest of its kind in the nation, and with high unemployment rate, for the very first time in the agency's 40-year history, there is a waiting list. The Jewish Family Service of Los Angeles is one of the agencies served by the LA Regional Food Bank.
I've been coming here to JFS for almost a year now. Really helped out a lot because I'm out of work, and give me a lot of things that I can't really afford on my own.
The Lutheran Social Services in Venice is another distribution center. Todd is a senior citizen, one of the primary groups served by the agency.
Some of the things that are too expensive to obtain from a grocery store, you're most likely to find them, from a food bank like this one here.
These agencies are experiencing a dire food shortage and long waiting lists. In Los Angeles, this is Wendy Spence reporting for Valley View News.
Thousands of people in Los Angeles have taken the final step to become American citizens. Valley View News reporter Hazel June has more on the story.
More than 6,000 citizens of nearly 90 different countries filled the Los Angeles Convention Center to be sworn in as citizens of the United States. The majority of new citizens are from Mexico, Philippines, El Salvador, Vietnam, and China. The room was packed with family, friends, officials, and new citizens waving American flags to show their excitement. Typically, the process takes 5 years, but for many families, it was another step in a journey that has taken several years, even decades for some.
The individuals that don't apply right away, it's probably a personal choice. Maybe some folks, it takes them just a little while to decide that, yes, this is where they want to stay.
New citizens can now take advantage of many opportunities such as voting, applying for passports, serving on juries, and being active in their communities.
Oh, it's a great feeling, you can participate in an election.
Feel great, happy, everything all in one. I don't know, I can say anything, just happy.
As a U.S. citizen, I can vote. And when you vote, you participate in the political situation around you.
One official said people who have to earn their citizenship probably know more about our country than those who were born into it and have a better sense of appreciation.
From all walks of life, today more than 6,000 people shared one common goal, the ability to say that you're a United States citizen. In Los Angeles, I'm Hazel June, Valley View News.
Thank you for watching this edition of Valley View News. I'm Christiana Kelly.
I'm Mona Adem. Have a great week.